Please read the disclaimer. We got so much to talk about XRP today. We're going to get straight into it. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.87, up 1.4% on the day. We just had the meeting minutes that came out, the Fed minutes, and rate cuts likely, but with caution. Most Fed officials sees further rate cuts over time, but remains cautious as inflation risk persists, with some seeing keeping rates on hold as appropriate for some time. So usually when you have the FOMC meeting minutes, 75% of the time we've seen the markets pull back a little bit. So far, market hasn't pulled back. It's kind of sleepy today. It's, days that when you have these holiday days or the last trading days of the year, there's a phenomenon called tax harvesting, where people are taking some of the losses that they experienced over the year, or maybe profits too. Maybe they already took losses and now they're taking profits in order to offset a little bit the tax liabilities that they would have for that year. And when you have this happening, these days are kind of weird or very low volume. And Tom tweeted out here, typically in these last holiday trading days, many institutional investors have stepped away from the market. So actually, many of them take a vacation after Christmas into New Year's because a lot of Wall Street is gone. They're, maybe in the Bahamas or in Hawaii, somewhere nice and warm. And they leave the markets and they come back for the new year because they usually have everything in order before the Christmas because they get their Christmas bonuses, and after that they don't really care. So you have bots and robots that are trading right now, plus tax loss related selling. And this is the dynamic in the final days of December. So we're not seeing anything too crazy happen. Also, the stock market, nothing too crazy happening. Also, you can see very low kind of action, flat on the day. Not surprising. Silver has made a comeback. So after it pulled back about 15% here, silver, we're seeing it pop 10% from that low. So again, the precious metals are still getting a lot of love. Some people were thinking, oh, maybe it's after that sell-off, maybe money would be flowing into crypto. Hasn't happened just yet, but we'll see. We'll see how this is going to play out. Again, XRP is in a very interesting scenario here, continues to hug under the EMA, right? The 13 EMA here hasn't been able to have a daily candle close over the green line here, the EMA, the 14 EMA for a long time, since basically December, beginning of December. So for the whole month, it's been under that. And so I think if it's able to break out of that, and maybe that comes with a double whammy here for XRP, where we could potentially also see it break through the trend, and then we could have potentially a positive momentum, but we'll have to see and wait and see what will happen with XRP. As always, these are my opinions. This is my intuitions, what I think about the market, only for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me any money. Those are scammers. Please be very careful out there. There's more that are popping up as people get maybe a little bit more impatient. You fall into these traps, so be very, very careful out there, okay? Also other influencers are not sending you DMs. We're not sending you friend requests. Please be very careful out there, okay? So Ripple just made a major move in Europe. Ripple is embedding into Europe's banking rails via the TAS network gateway, positioning itself as a key bridge between traditional finance and blockchain settlement. So Ripple continues with these partnerships, continues with these what's the word I'm looking for? The growth of XRPL, but that's the plumpness, right? The filling out, but there's a word that I'm looking for, of the XRPL network. And it will continue to get potentially more and more traffic as we go on, as more banks around the world, more institutions around the world feel more comfortable doing business with Ripple after the whole SEC thing is over, after the US government has become very pro-crypto. So things have shifted significantly. And listen, Tokenization is here to stay. So tokenized stocks are going vertical, and this is only 1.2 billion market cap for tokenized stocks. We're going to potentially have trillions here. And if XRPL and Ripple are able to take advantage of tokenization of stocks, that could mean a significant amount of traffic that could be flowing on XRPL through the hidden road, right? They changed the name. I forgot the name already. Ripple Prime, and then potentially could be going through that as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see where the markets go from here. And we're in a weird situation right now where XRP exchange supply has hit an 8-year low. XRP supply and exchanges fell to 1.6 billion, down from 3.76 billion on October 8th, levels seen in 2018, right? So before the October 10th, we had 3.76 billion. And it's only at 1.6 billion. Is a 2026 supply shock brewing? So this is the thought here, that this could potentially happen with the exchanges, with potentially we talked about this morning how the ETFs were accumulating XRP not through the exchanges but through the market makers. Well, maybe the market makers are lacking XRP, or maybe they're bringing in from exchanges. So that could be a possibility as well. Also, a possibility could be that people are custodying, right, after October 10th. They don't trust maybe exchanges anymore, and that's what they're doing. So that could be a possibility too. And that could create in a short period of time a liquidity crunch or liquidity squeeze, and we'll have to watch out for that. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. And I found this interesting. Remember Caroline, she was the CFTC acting chairman, now at MoonPay, and she tweeted this out, how it started. She says, the next stop on my learning tour was visiting Ripple Labs. Thanks, Brad Garlinghouse, XRP crypto blockchain, and see how she got into crypto through Ripple, and now she's went from the CFTC to MoonPay. We're seeing more and more government officials. We saw, what was his name? I forgot. That moved from he was at a significant duty at the government. What was his name? Oh, he had a cool name, and he moved to Tether, right? The U.S. Tether position. So that we're seeing more and more government officials that are pro crypto moving into the private sector. It will be very interesting to see in the next coming years what will happen. Now, I want to comment on a comment from a video earlier today. Someone commented, and you know what? I want to pull it up just so I get it exactly right. So the comment was like this. Said, there's not a lot of interest in crypto because it's just not cool as it used to be. It wore off most of the millennials and Gen Z. The alphas are all broke. Gen Xers, we all made our bones in the beginning. Nowadays, hate to say it, but crypto is just a joke, really. This was a comment that was on my video. And I said, hey, listen, I don't know about you, but you probably are, in a very small bubble. Maybe you have your friends. Maybe you don't know what's exactly happening in the crypto market just because, you're not seeing the action. Yes, YouTube views are down about 50%, and we're seeing interest down, but the price action is very boring. I don't think that people don't think the crypto is cool anymore, even though I responded that when I was in Token 2049 in Singapore, there were so many people at that conference, so many people. The influencers were we were maybe 10 or 15. There were probably 30 or 40,000 people at the conference, right? We were such a small amount of the people. You have no idea. Yeah, yes, many of those were from companies and things like that, but there also were many, many people that didn't have a company name on their tag. They were just there for the conference, right? Interested in crypto and things that are happening in Asia, right? So this was a conference in Singapore. People were coming in from all around Asia, coming to the conference. And it's a totally different mindset, right? The people in America might think a certain way, but America is not the whole crypto market. I know that about 60% of my viewership is from the United States of America, right? But a lot of the money that comes in is from Japan, from South Korea, from Singapore, some from China, from Russia. Like there's a lot of money from Europe, of course, and from Africa, South America. Like money is Australia. A lot of you are from Australia as well, UK. So a lot of money is coming in from all these places. I don't think that, maybe the USA, the Americans might be a little bit sick of it because you have poly market and all these things that are giving people more things to do, but that's not available for the rest of the world, right? So yes, maybe in the US things have been going down a little bit, predictive markets and things like that, but for the rest of the world, crypto is still live and kicking and very, very cool. So I just wanted to tell you that was my experience. Now, this was before October 10th. So maybe some of these people, got hurt significantly, and maybe they're still here, maybe they aren't. But I think that we'll see in 2026. I think the first half of 2026 is going to tell us a little bit more on what we need. Someone also commented that they had significantly reduced their altcoin positions after October 10th, which is interesting. Yes, it's fallen down significantly, but I still want to see what's going to happen. Now, listen, altcoins, many won't recover, right? We saw this in 2017. We saw this in 2020. Not every single altcoin that was hot in the previous cycle will be hot again. So your bags might not come back, and you have to take that into consideration as well. So that's very, very important because there's always going to be something new, something hot. And our job is to figure out where it's hot and take advantage of the momentum. And so again, that's very, very important. But XRP, I don't put it in the same category as these lower level altcoins because it's such a behemoth and because it has Ripple behind it, and Ripple is becoming such a behemoth. Okay. So that's, again, just my opinion. Maybe I'm right about this, maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see in about 5 to 10 years. We'll know a little bit better just on XRP and Ripple. Altcoins, again, it's cycle to cycle. We'll have to see about that. As always, don't forget to smash the like button, comment on the video, 8 for Infinity and beyond, subscribe to the channel, check out the links in the description down below, join the free Telegram group, follow me on X. And the most important thing, don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.